Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we are back with another review. Today we are taking a look at from the Transformers Robots in Disguise line. This is Warrior Class Jazz. Um, Obviously, Jazz is a well-known character, beloved character from the Transformers universe. As of this recording, I have not seen the episode where Jazz made his debut. I don't think it's aired in my part of the world yet, but here it is. I've been looking forward to this figure. I was actually very interested about it just because when we saw it at New York Toy Fair, there was a little bit of debate about was this a retool of the Prime revealers Bumblebee with that whole geared opening system. And while yes, this figure is very close to that figure, it is an entirely new mold, both in robot and vehicle mode. I just guess it's you get to a point that some design cues and bits of transformation, if they work and look similar, why not use it? Jazz does have a weapon. Um, Interesting for Jazz, it's this type of lance. It's well, I guess you can say it's a lance gun because it does have that forward grip that the figure can hold it like so. Personally, I think everybody else is just going to hold it like that, which is kind of odd because with a lance, this isn't a sword. So lances are meant for jousting, like going along and hitting him straight on. And it would be nice if there was some way to angle the wrist down or peg it into the arm, but there really isn't. There are little slots here, but they really don't fit into the tab. So if you want to do that type of a jousting thing, you'd have to have them hold it like this. Personally, I think that's more for storage. As you can see, we whip the figure around and you can have them peg it into the back of the car here, but you'll have to do it as an angle or straight up, which would look kind of silly. But other than that, in terms of looks, I mean, this is the classic Jazz, blue and white, little bits of black. Um, the head is something a little bit new, which we're gonna take a look at. Instead of the visored goggle, this is a very animated style face. Soft on the details, mouth, face place, but it does have that trademark Jazz crest and the blue eyes. So this is a interesting look to Jazz. So we'll get to the transformation right now. Okay, so returning Jazz to a neutral position, first thing what you really want to do is bend the arms up and rotate the fists in. Now the instructions show the figure with the arms already bent up, so I mean that can count. And technically that's step one. These are supposed to have 9 steps in total. Next what you want to do is go ahead and rotate Jazz the arms up, and it's on like a little gear system on the inside of the wheel well there, which is kind of cool. So you just want to have him out like this, like he's going to give you a big old hug. Next, go ahead and peg the legs together. You may actually help to do this from behind just to make sure the pegs and panels line up properly there. Next, go ahead and flip up the feet. That should bring us up to step 4. Now, step 5, and I should mention that the figure is slightly mistransformed in package. This back windshield is actually down around here. You want it up for robot mode. There are actually tabs here on the this hinge system that will not peg but sit into grooves here in the lower back. It's actually very nice and makes for a unique figure. So you're gonna just bring that panel down and it will peg into place right here in the back. And just go ahead and now the next step is a little tricky, but you want to make sure this panel behind the head is over the little white tab that's right there. Now, step 6, really doesn't show you anything, and I've checked and double checked, but really what you want to do is go ahead and bring the arms down. You want to unhook them from this. They sit in a groove here. It's like you bring it up and slide it in. Well, you just want to pull out and down, bring those down, out and down, and then you can go ahead and flip up what was the the chest panel here, and go ahead and also at the same time rotate the arm, well, we could say the arms forward, and you'll feel a soft click into place. And just keep those out of the way, because as you bring the doors around, you're actually going to want to bring them up slightly so the doors can flip around behind. Don't worry, I mean, this will all actually come together quite nicely. Basically, what you want to do is fold, as I said, the chest piece back. This will form the hood of the car. And the little, I guess, gears, or the parts of the robot where the gears for the door panels line up, will clip underneath the windshield. That's actually kind of ingenious that they're using that bundle of parts as a securing point for the hood. Go ahead and close the doors. They will peg into the side of the vehicle, on both sides, of course. And just next step is you want to come in. You're going to fold the windshield. You want to fold the front of the car up. Now, before you do that, it's not shown in the instructions, but I guess you can rotate Jazz's head around so he's not looking at the ground when he's driving. But go ahead and bring this whole section back and around, and it'll sit into the side here, and then there's a tab on the forearms that will peg underneath the hood of the car. So just go in like so, just like that. And here we have Jazz in his car mode. Now, some people who've gotten this figure as well have said that the paint is rather simplistic, and I'll be honest, I can give or take it. I don't think it's that bad, but I'm sure it could do for some more details. Maybe some lights here on the front, paint in the rear of the windshield. I can kind of understand why they did it. Like, I can kind of understand why they sometimes combine steps, or aren't that clear in the instructions, because they have to fit a certain space. Now, let's go back to the lance. As you've seen in other reviews of the warrior class figures I've done, there has been weapon storage for the figures that usually isn't mentioned in the instructions. It's mentioned in the car instructions because they give you a fold-out sheet, but due to the limited space on the back of the card, Hasbro omits that. Now, I've tried to find a way to store the Lance here in vehicle mode, and I've thought that maybe with these little prongs here, it could clip somehow underneath in vehicle mode. The one way I was checking is maybe sliding it in between the legs here because of this space in the back, and to be honest with you, none of the ways I've tried has worked, and basically it has to do with the whole, this cot piece right there, just gets in the way and will force the lance to angle down. I've tried off to the side, or just, something like that, where it would clip or peg in. And of course, as soon as I'm done here, I will figure it out, or someone in the comments will tell me. But basically, the only way you can store the lance is to peg it into the roof of the car, which actually isn't that bad, because then you have basically Jazz jousting along and stuff like that. Perhaps that's a look for the animated model, which we'll see when the character debuts on the show. Since Wave 1 of the RID Warrior figures, Hasbro has really shown a, I don't want to say marked improvement, but has taken some really big steps in making simple but fun figures that have a good amount of articulation with an interesting transformation while fitting into the parameters of a simplified toy line. Um, Jazz really is a continuation of that, and I haven't touched Sideswipe yet, but Sideswipe's going to have to do a lot to really impress me. Now, comparing this to Drift, who I think is the best warrior class figure thus far, I think I'm just going to have to give it to Drift right now, just because Drift had the weapon storage. But definitely, if when you see this starting to show up on shelves, pick it up. It's a great figure to have and a lot of fun. I got mine off a Big Bad Toy Store. They're selling this and Sideswipe as a set. And I think they were also selling the case, which has figures from the second wave and first wave mixed in. So if you haven't picked up anything yet, that's a good option because you can get Drift and Optimus Prime as well. I think. Don't hold me to that. Or it's also available on Amazon.com at a reasonable retail price. And I always recommend Amazon. Prime 2-day shipping. And, of course, if you have gift cards and stuff, it's like getting a figure for free. This is your old pal Chuck for Jazz. We will see you next time.